Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 271 for the week of July 26, 2016. We're recording a day late thanks to Comic-Con and our Killing Joke screening. Sorry guys, sorry this is going up a little later than normal. Hope you forgive me. My name is Ryan Higgins and I picked up the best part of the con without going, Con Crud. Who is here with me to the left?
What the fuck is that?
Con Crud is when you get sick going to a convention.
You're to the left.
I apparently picked it up. No, Brock's to my left. I apparently picked up the cold without actually going to the convention. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Brock Sager.
Who else is there? Keep going. Say your name. Lane.
Lane. Sorry, probably too far.
Jim Jokisch.
Toby.
And Charlie.
Hello, everyone. We got a table full of Comic-Con swag. If you're a Patreon backer, you should look for a cool video next week. We're going to talk about some of this stuff on Patreon, patreon.com/comicconspiracy. For you not on Patreon, you got a week to donate. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Lane, Toby. Should we give Lane a few minutes to get his stuff scheduled?
We're still going through Comic-Con swag.
Should we talk briefly about our Killing Joke screening first, and we'll talk about Comic-Con?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Let's talk about our Killing Joke screening. Jim, if you're going to yell, you need to be like 10 times closer to the microphone.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
So
I saw the pictures of you guys' name on the marquee there.
yeah. For those that don't know or weren't paying attention, we did a screening of Batman: The Killing Joke, the direct-to-DVD.
The first Comic Conspiracy Presents screening.
Yeah. Direct-to-DVD movie that they put in theaters via Fathom events. So we hosted a screening over at the local theater in Mountain View here. It was good. We sold the show out. It was fantastic. Had about a little over 100 people there. Super cool to see.
Yep.
We'll talk about the quality of the movie here in a minute, but it was really cool to do it. We're doing it again for Suicide Squad this upcoming week. We have about 20 tickets left. So, Toby, actually, I talked to you about your tickets.
I
have yours set aside, but yeah, I need to verify that. So, we got a huge group of people go see Suicide Squad next Thursday, same theater, 9 o'clock. So, you still have time to pick up your ticket if you want to come. We'll all be there, except for Jim.
Is it at 9 or 9:30?
Sorry, Jim. 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim. You're not going to be there.
It's okay. It just happened today. It's cool.
But are they going to show it like 2 weeks in advance, like they do in Asia
a
lot?
It could already be shown in Taiwan.
That's what I was going to say.
Could be. I could get there on Friday and go see it Friday night before you guys.
I'll kill you.
And I will make sure to post it on Saturday if I do. No, Friday night after I go to it.
No, you don't post it because Ryan goes on lockdown, so what you have to do is direct message, flood him with direct message and
problem.
emails.
Yeah.
Please don't.
No, you just call him and say, "Hey, Ryan, how's it going?" Oh, by the way,
Here's a spoiler.
Don't get in it. Oh, sorry.
So we can real quick talk while Lane's finishing up here. Killing Joke movie. There's a little controversy over the weekend because it aired at Comic-Con, so a lot of people saw it early. There's definitely some non-traditional scenes in it. They opened up with about a half an hour Batgirl story that was disconnected from the main story. Just to give you kind of some info on Batgirl or backstory a little bit, and you feel for her a bit when she gets shot and paralyzed by the Joker during the course of Killing Joke. I know some people were less than impressed with it. There is a questionable scene of Batman and Batgirl hooking up, which a lot of people seem pretty mad at.
I don't know, that gargoyle was just creepy.
Yeah, creeper gargoyle looking at him. I don't know about you guys, but I felt within the context of the movie they gave us that it worked perfectly fine. Not what I want in my comic books, but within the information we are given by the in the short or in the movie, I thought it worked fine. It's an Elseworld. It's a different Batgirl, obviously, even though it's probably the most traditional one we've seen in a while. But no, I thought it worked right. I thought it worked fine. Like I said, not what I would want in my comic books, but
out of context is fucking weird.
Yeah, sure.
Tim needs to stop doing that. He did that in Batman Beyond.
And that's what I think.
Yeah, they did that in the Batman Beyond comic book.
Yeah, if you see an animated GIF of it, you're going to be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Within the context of how they present her and Batman throughout the course of the movie and her sort of relationship and everything, I thought it worked fine. So, people love to hate stuff they haven't seen, which is pretty typical.
Well, I mean,
For those that did see it, though, what do you guys think?
I just think it was weird, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to say shit yet.
Within context of what they were doing, because Killing Joke would be such a short animated movie that I figured they needed to add something to it, and I think going the route of expanding Barbara Gordon, a.k.a. Batgirl's story a bit, I think it works, because I recently read Killing Joke to kind of brush up on it, and Yeah, if you don't know who Barbara Gordon is,
She's in like 2 pages.
she's in like a couple pages, and you're like, well, she's Jim Gordon's daughter, so I'm gonna feel bad that she's shot, but you don't understand the significance that Barbara Gordon plays in the DC universe.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, despite it kind of being awkward, it's not, and like you said, in the movies or in an animated movie, fine. In the comic books, not so much.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's just weird seeing animated movies on the big screen.
Well,
there's this weird.
I think if this was shown on TV first or only, people probably wouldn't be so up in arms about it.
Yeah.
I think because it's on the big screen, that people are disappointed with the animation quality, disappointed with the story. I feel because it's on that screen, people question it. I think it's the same quality, if not better, than all the other DC movies they've done. I thought it worked okay. Charlie, like it or dislike?
I liked it. It did honestly help to a degree that I think my brain had already processed everything because of the big controversy that happened around Comic-Con on it. So it's not like I went in there and was blindsided, and I do think that helped a little.
Right.
And the whole Batman hooking up with Batgirl, my brain has always kind of thought was wrong and rejected it. But at the same time, as was already brought up, like, it wasn't just established in Batman Beyond. It was established in the Batman Animated Series when they brought it back originally. So it is something where it's like, so Bruce Timm went there again. It does seem wrong, especially when you kind of have the context of the prior relationship with Dick, which is where I really just kind of go, that's just wrong. But
especially when Batman is kind of the father figure.
Yeah.
Dick and Barbara are kind of the kids.
Yeah.
You know, Tim and Damian are kind of like the younger brothers.
If you sort of distance itself from that whole aspect of it, I don't really have a problem with it. It's just that context that has always given me pause.
I really think it was just that creepy gargoyle. I mean, it was like just the cherry on top.
Well, no, honestly, the part I had more of a problem with was her giving up being Batgirl right before.
Well, in the comics, she's been retired for a while when Killing Joke happened. So they kind of had to figure out a way to make that work. Show her as Batgirl, then show her give it up. So, Jim?
Oh, wow. We beat this to death for the last 2 days. I really, really enjoyed Killing Joke. I enjoyed both sections of it. I enjoyed the first movie, which is the Batman animated series, Batgirl, in the new costume, in the black and gold costume, not the gray and blue. I enjoyed that because I had missed the animated series. I enjoyed that whenever it was on TV. I've watched it before on DVDs, and to have a fresh episode like that, just it made me, think back to whenever I was watching the other episodes. It was a good memory. As far as the context of it, like we said before, I was still trying to figure out where the R rating came in.
Yeah. It really didn't. Okay. I understand why, but it's not.
Bullet in the head. Okay, I see that. I see that on TV all the time. Alcohol. See it on TV all the time. The thug smoking. Okay, see it all the time. Batman and Batgirl having sex. Sort of.
You don't see anything.
You don't see anything, but it's definitely implied. And okay, so we don't want the kids to see it. All right, so how do we absolutely not scar the children? Why make it an R rating? Okay. Aside from that, I thought the Killing Joke was dead on to the graphic novel. There were some points in it that I wish were more elaborated on. How he was driving. To me, I didn't think what they were doing to Commissioner Gordon was going to drive him insane. I mean, it was more annoying than anything. Him getting on the ride and driving around in a circle and driving around on that.
Well,
music.
It's more sinister in the comic. I think it's a hard thing to animate.
Yeah, and
I don't know. It still seemed pretty sinister.
Well, yeah, but I think the way it's drawn in the comic, it takes on such a different life. Brian Boland's art is not. Well, the way they lay out the panels with the pictures on top, and it doesn't translate quite as well. But I thought they did a good job.
So,
but the graphic novel, I mean, as far as the translation from graphic novel to animation, I thought they did a really good job. They stuck to the story. They didn't change anything. They didn't, they stuck hard and true to the Joker's supposed origin. Even I saw some small details that that they put in there from the storylines as well. Harvey Dent, Two-Face, in the cell next right before he goes in to see the Joker. In the graphic novel, he's just sitting there looking out the window. In the animation, he's trying to grab his coin that he dropped outside the window. So I like the little things in the background. I thought the whole thing was really well done. And this is from somebody who doesn't typically like the animation movies for DC. I liked it. I really did.
So for me, the highest praise I can give this movie kind of comes from the emotional reactions that you always have reading The Killing Joke. There's a lot of it that's kind of hard to read even, but like to a degree, there's parts of it that kind of feel like a train wreck. You know where they're going, you know how dark it is, but you can't really look away. You have to finish it. And I kind of felt the same way watching the animated version. Even though I knew what was going to happen, it stirred those exact same emotions in me. So I think it was sort of dead on.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. If you're, it's probably too late now because I don't think there's any more screenings. They did add some on Tuesday, but
well, it's the largest Fathom event, right?
Yeah, by a lot.
$3 million.
Yeah, it made a lot of money opening for one night. So
2 nights.
Yeah, well, yeah,
considering
a night
it just had evening showings.
Yeah.
On Monday, and it made like
handful on Tuesday.
A little more than like half at the number one spot, which I think was still Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did really well.
There's 2 other theaters in there that was showing Killing Joke, and I think they had 2 shows.
Well, they went from
7 and then also 10:30.
They went from 2 shows to our theater had 5 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just Monday. They added more shows on Tuesday as well. So I assume every theater across the country had a very similar
was yours
effect.
additional screening, or you just took over one of the others?
Additional screening.
Yours was additional.
So they doubled the screen to 4, and then we had ours, so 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, even the theater count, when you compare it to like the theaters that were playing Star Trek and stuff, it was the amount of money it made, considering it was in like 25% of the theaters of a lot of this other stuff.
They kept selling out. That's why they did more, right? All those showings of Star Trek probably had 10 people in them. Right?
Yeah.
No, the Star Trek is great. I loved it, but it's not.
No, I'm just saying there was still a massive amount of theaters that were not showing this.
Right. Well, when it comes out on DVD in a couple of weeks, if you guys want anyone that didn't see it, I'd like to. Well, that too. Get you guys a take. All the guys listening, you guys can let us know. But Toby,
and isn't it already out digitally?
It's out digitally.
So they can let us know if they watch it digitally.
Sure,
too.
but every version will be out soon. Toby, Lane, I want to talk to you guys for a minute here.
Yeah.
You guys went to San Diego Comic Con 2006. Comic Con International San Diego 2016. I believe that's officially what it's called. We call it Comic Con. How was Comic Con, guys? Lane, grab that mic from Jim. Don't let him drop his soda on the floor there. Toby, you can talk.
It was interesting.
You've had some problems. You got some leg problems.
Yeah. Well,
how'd that go?
It went a lot shorter than I thought it would. I had to take breaks during the con for the first time in my entire life. Actually, no, I went to WonderCon. I kind of took breaks there too, but I had to leave the con 3 times to go back to the hotel to ice and elevate it. I mean, there was a time come Friday or Saturday where I'm like, my foot is not moving into an angle. Why is something blocking it? I look down. I'm like, whoa, it's way big. I'm like, okay. Time to stop. I gotta go back. So yeah, a lot of things I didn't get to do this year. A lot of the obstacle courses are gone. They're sort of been replaced by a bunch of VR stuff. The Suicide Squad thing was kind of a VR thing from what I've been told. I wasn't able to go, even though that was one of the things I really wanted to do. The Mr. Robot thing was a VR thing. So there's a bunch of VR things this year instead of actual obstacle courses. Maybe people got hurt over time. Maybe VR is a new big thing. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know.
Well, I watched the DC has their entertainment hosts or whatever, and they talked about the Suicide Squad thing, and it was footage filmed specifically for the VR experience. Cool. So so it's like it immerses you in the film and in the scene. I think in the office building.
Okay.
They didn't show any of the footage.
It
was.
Yeah, but me reading originally the plan for what they had, I was like, yeah, they're gonna build the office thing for me, and there's gonna be bad people, and I get to shoot them all in the face. That's what I want. So when I heard afterwards that it's just a VR thing, I'm like, well, that's not what I expected. I want real people.
Yeah, they're gonna let you shoot people in the face.
Well, shoot real people in the face. So, Lena, you're a big toy guy, so you're always there for your pops, for your art books, for your exclusives, and you always hook up the store. You always get stuff for the guys here. Yeah, you and Toby and
thank you, Lane.
It's more like
and Toby,
Rodney, and everyone.
This time it was more like LineCon.
Yeah, well, it's always LineCon, right?
I think it was more this year though.
Toby, did you do much? I know Lane always does. Did you do much lines?
Well, there was lines. I'll tell you that. There's no evading
did you do
the
much
lines.
Toy lines, I should say.
Not really.
Autograph lines.
Yeah, I did some autograph lines.
Well, let's do toy, and then we'll come back to autographs. Yeah, I want to hear about that. What was your big scores? Anything good?
Not really. I guess probably the biggest score would be like I got one of the Conan pops finally.
Oh, cool.
But which is a
got
lot
the Joker
quicker.
one this year?
Yeah, I got the Joker one.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty quick and pretty well done, handled. Like, overall, the con was handled mostly better.
Yeah,
except for some really weird things that happen on certain days and just certain areas, like the line outside the hall on was it Friday? No, Thursday morning. No, Friday. It was Friday. At 6 a.m. was weird because they merged like the pros into the regular line, and that line wrapped all the way to the bay.
Oof. This is for pops?
No, this is to get into the hall.
Oh, Jesus.
Welcome to the Lego line otherwise.
Yeah.
But that was the funny part. Like, it wrapped all the way to the bay, and then the lines for Lego and Funko were coming down from upstairs all the way down to the bay also.
Oh, God.
So even though we wrapped all the way around the building, at the end, there were like 4 lines all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But they all went different places.
There was an interesting article on Bleeding Cool that was talking about the RFID chip stuff, how you basically can't get in and out. You can't pass your badge off. There's no reselling. There's all this crap. That seemed to them to indicate that there was actually the crowd on the floor was not an insane nightmare. It actually was a little lighter than normal.
There was a lot of theories about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys were actually there.
There's definitely less people this year. I guarantee everybody I talked to, all the artists I talked to, they're like, this feels weird, this feels less.
Well, and Hall H, obviously not the big... I mean, it's big, but not what it has been.
There's times where people were able to just roll in, which was never the case.
Right.
That's new.
Mm-hmm. But you guys, you agree with that? You think it actually was less busy?
It was definitely less busy, and everybody had their theories, and I talked to one of the bus drivers. I'm like, it feels like less people. And he had all people goes, it's because San Diego forced Comic-Con to keep it smaller. The PD forced them to keep it there. He said it's the same thing with Mardi Gras in San Diego. What other big things that they've been having that they've been kind of limited them and make them smaller so they can control it. There's also been a lot more cops around, so I don't know if it's because of the shootings lately.
The last couple of years.
So, you talk about ballparks. I mean, if you want to take a good chunk of the population out, San Diego Comic-Con is a good chunk of the population, right? So,
yeah, I know there were I heard there were snipers on the roof and
everything. It's a little scary, so maybe it's just a this year thing, hence...
President Trump will quell all our feels next year, and we'll be totally fine.
President Trump will kick me out of the country, probably. So
he'll make Comic-Con great again, and then we'll.
I just want to let the listeners know, episode 272, we will no longer have Ryan on because of that endorsement.
Yeah, but it was definitely less people. It was very odd, but yet things were harder to get. There was more obstacle you had to go through. There's it was just harder to get everything, which made everything kind of not as enjoyable. So I almost was kind of talking to people. Some of the artists I was talking to, they were like, maybe this is it. And I'm like, shit, maybe this is it for me too. Because...
But don't we all want a smaller Comic-Con?
Not if things are harder to get.
No, but I mean, smaller.
If things are hard to get, it's kind of, I don't know, like, why do we bother going?
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody in the shop on Sunday about this. I don't want a smaller Comic-Con. It's not that I'm in a rush to go back to Comic-Con or anything, but Comic-Con is unique because of its size, because of the way it transforms San Diego around it.
There's also a certain kind of hype that goes into it.
Yeah.
And if that disappears, it's not the same anymore.
Exactly. If it really did get smaller, that also means that the support from the various studios and everything would get smaller.
Well, they already have. I think that's why, because the studio support is way down.
Out of the stuff I saw that I missed, the one thing that I regretted from not going this year was the Evil Dead cabin.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't so much attention on San Diego, if it got smaller, you would never see the Evil Dead cabin there again.
I think you could do this. I mean, you take out stuff like that, but I think you could take all the paneling and move it to WonderCon, and I would say, okay, maybe not the Marvel and DC movie panels. Like, that might be the last bastion. But every other panel, I was like, okay, Rick and Morty, sure. Pokemon Go panel, sure. All these things make sense in Hall H. They make sense at a traditional, a 50,000, 60,000 Comic-Con, or comic convention, not necessarily a 250,000 comic convention. So it's those big studio things. I mean, I know they had Kong out there and they had some big stuff, but not those A-list celebrities. But, I don't know.
I mean, the A-list this year was very easily... it's basically Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad. Those were the two main events at Comic-Con this year.
Mm-hmm. The Marvel guys were there, but they weren't on the floor. They weren't.
Guardians were on the floor.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah,
there was
that's
a
where they
sign?
signed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were all there. Yeah,
they went right past me.
Oh, nice. I didn't. Yeah, because I heard about the Wonder Woman one and the Squad signing, but I didn't hear there was a Guardians signing.
No, that definitely was.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Although I was going to say, I think even though there's less people in the hall, I think there's more people outside.
Yeah.
Like because of all the offsite stuff.
Yeah.
More people just came to San Diego for offsite stuff as well.
I sort of disagree. Last few years I did mostly offsite stuff, and it felt a lot more people there. This year it just didn't seem the same anymore. Like, even like just getting away from the con to go back to the hotel, it seemed less people. Like, it used to be shoulder to shoulder people. It just felt more loose. You actually could get to places, which is a good thing, but...
they were in line. That's the problem.
At 7 at night?
Yeah. There were lines at 7. Yes,
it's not like last year, dude. Last year there was all these other offsite events and they were full.
No, at 7 at night they were in line for Funko, Hasbro, and the hall already.
Trust me, the people that do the offsites are not in those lines.
No, I'm not talking about the offsites. I'm talking about just...
Yeah, that's a different crowd, dude. That's a different crowd.
No, but the offsites were also crowded as well because they...
Not like they used to be.
They had a 6-hour line at a lot of places. That Suicide Squad and...
Yeah, they were even bigger last year. I could tell you that. Last year, me and Nate went to the Game of Thrones offsite at, like, I think 8 in the morning. Like, 3 hours before they open. And they go, you're the last one for the day.
Well, here's the thing. The guys, they're going to buy their own tickets, or the guys are going to go wait in the big lines and do all the big stuff. If they're bad sharing at all these other previous ones to the extent that they thought they might have been, maybe those are the guys that are just hanging out. So that the lines were actually the same. It's just potentially the offsite stuff and the regular dealer vendors were the guys that were just like, yeah, I'll slip you your pass out the back door and fine, come in. And if they were getting 10,000 extra people on the con floor, that's a ton of people.
No, I think, a lot of it, see, I don't think Toby saw some of the back stuff in the back, but...
No, I was there.
For example, the Conan line, especially on Sunday, the Conan line wrapped to the bay and then also had multiple lines on the bay all the way to the boat docks. There was easily like 1,000 people in that line alone. And the reason a lot of these happening is because you have, at least what I saw was, you have the one guy who has a badge. But the thing is, he has his 5 friends or family that are in San Diego, live there or they're there anyway. They are also standing in line for them.
Okay.
And so the lines outside are humongous for things. But that's why I don't. But you only have the one guy that has a badge. So inside the hall, only one gets to go in.
So what happens? He buys, comes back out, and gets in line where his friends are.
Right.
Or something?
Exactly. They were doing all sorts of those tricks where, like, you have like 5 people in the Conan line. You spread them out.
Yeah.
You go through once.
There was a lot of trick
when
going on.
When you go back out, you go in line with your other friend because he's just a little further back again.
Yeah.
So you got to go through the line again, and then he just goes. They do that a lot. Or, for example, I was at the Funko pop-up shop. There were a lot of dealers there that had their 5 friends so they could buy 6 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a lot of that going on.
shitty line stuff aside. Chuck?
I was just going to say, but there's always that kind of stuff going on. Of
Oh
people
yeah, no,
gaming
it's
the
always
system.
going on, but I think it was more prevalent this year than
Like
last year.
Charlie and his 12 kids, and they buy 13 of everything.
Yeah.
And then bring them back to the shop, and you say thank you.
That works, too. What do you guys do? What do you guys do for fun, Toby? I know you had some awesome autograph sessions. What'd you get?
Well, first of all, I mean, since this year, I none of the toys or swag kind of interested me this year. So this year, I kind of tried to go more for the experience. So when I heard that they had the Star Trek screening outside on the first night, I tried to do that right away. So I tried to get into that giant line, and it was one of those where you try and again. And frankly, I had nothing better to do, so I did try again. What I got out of it is the nice sunburn right off the gate before the con even started. But preview night started. I got a few things for Charlie, for my buddy Nate, stuff for the store. I was pretty much done. Like at preview night, it was a really, really odd year. What I did during the week though is I went to this writing panel I thought was fantastic. I randomly looked up things Wednesday night to do, and I found this writing panel that started at 10, and I went to it, and I was blown away by it. And I went to the same guy the next he was there for the next 2 days, and I went one of those 2 days. So I missed the Saturday one, but he was fantastic.
But they're continuing panels.
They were continuing panels, yeah. And he was going, like, information just, like, off the gate, like, one after. He didn't even take any questions till the very end for, like, maybe 2 questions. The other panels, so it became more a panel and meet people kind of year for me, which is totally fine because I actually love doing that. I had dinner with the guys from the Flicker Effect podcast, so that was kind of neat. I got to meet those guys. I met Bobby last year. He's the guy that did the Square Enix experience, whose story I stole to tell to you guys.
Right.
Because I didn't get to do it myself. And this year, physically not able to do the Square Enix Square. So I missed it again. I went to the Orphan Black panel just because it was a priority. It's their last year, more than likely, since their season is their show is ending next year. But to get into that one, I went early just because I wanted to make sure I was in. Was the American Gods panel?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I haven't seen the trailer yet for that.
man, I think that show is going to be bloody fantastic.
I hope so.
Like I hadn't look. I knew about American Gods, the novel. I knew Neil Gaiman's book. I know Neil Gaiman's huge. Mm-hmm. I don't know who was doing the show. It's fucking Brian Fuller, man.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Yeah. Hannibal, Wonderfalls, Mockingbird Lane, Pushing Daisies. That guy is fantastic. That guy makes awesome shows. And the trailer has Peter Stormare in it. It was like one of my favorite actors. Like, and the main guy is from The 100. He's like one of the coolest characters from The 100. So I'm like, this show is gonna be fucking awesome.
Nice.
And Neil Gaiman is always fantastic at these shows. I really, really enjoy watching his panels. So I kind of went to that one by accident, but I was blown away by it. I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome!" So I'm really, really looking forward to that show. The Orphan Black panel is great as always. It's a little sad to see them go, and then that panel was followed by the Vikings.
Okay, yeah.
Which I actually really enjoy the show. I don't think it's up there with Game of Thrones or Black Sails, but I really like the show. I like the characters. And this is the first time I got to see some of the actors kind of, being themselves.
Sure.
The first thing we get is the Ragnar coming out on stage. He switches to water, one of the guys, and he goes and sits down. And the guy who plays his kid comes up, and he drinks the water, and it's like he spits it out. It's like it's full of vodka. So, yeah, and then the panel goes on with them passing back and forth the vodka bottle. So they're basically sloshed at the panel.
Nice.
One of the girls asks, "Can I have some?" And he goes, "Yeah, come up." And they poured in her little Viking horn. So it was quite fun. And they usually, do the whole, don't ask for personal stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a new age, and the new thing is to ask them to say hello into Snapchat. So the first 2 people go, "Oh, can you say hi to my friends on Snapchat?" So by the third person or third girl, the moderator is trying to protect, the actors, which, she's just doing her job. She's not being mean. She's doing her job. Going, "No more. Go off." And the guy who plays Ragnar's son felt really bad.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, can we?" And they go, "No, go off," right? And he was just sitting there, and 5 minutes later, like after 2-3 questions, he's like, you know what? I really feel bad about this. So you're like, where was that girl? All right, nobody ever asked for this again, but let's take care of her. So he asked her to come back, and then did it. I was like, that was really nice of him. That was really cool.
That's cool.
So in that panel, the next few days, I went back to that writing panel. I went to the Vetmasters panel. The guys who were behind Collider, Jedi Council, I think, some podcasts and YouTube videos, and got a few good tips and tricks for there that we can hopefully maybe implement here.
Cool.
And it was just really cool just seeing other guys seeing their stories behind things. So that was really cool. Other than that, got to talk to some of my friends, got to talk to some of the artists. Again, it was a very odd Comic-Con for me. It was very low key for me. I didn't, like I said, physically I wasn't able to do a lot of things. I had to go back to the hotel a few times and take care of that swelling leg. Just trying to think what else there was. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Signing wise, I really wanted to get the Wonder Woman signing. Was a huge Gal Gadot fan.
Are those all just raffle, or how do they do that?
Yeah, it's just raffle. I woke up at 4:30 to get there at 5 to be in line, and then this is the other thing. Since I was ADE this year, I had a lot of learning steps to do because all the other ADs are pros at it. Know exactly where to go, exactly know what to ask. I went into the Lego line. I didn't know I could get a line stand. They were like, yeah, you're just the last guy in line. I'm like, but the same fuckers that lose are just going back in line until this shit is out, so I'll never be in line, technically. So there's a little bit of a learning curve for me this year. So Wonder Woman, I went there at 5 in the morning. I asked for a line person, and the Wonder Woman signing and the Suicide Squad been gone like in 20 minutes. And I was kind of asking the dudes, I'm like, well, when did you line up? Like, just curiosity, see if you even had a shot, right?
Yeah.
They were like, well, 7:30 the night before.
Oh, fuck.
Or the day before.
Yeah.
I'm like, PM? They were like, no.
AM?
AM.
Oh, Jesus.
So they were there the entire day before, the night, and half of it. So they basically spent a good, almost 30 hours in line. I was like, well, you know what? Hats off to you. I'm glad you got it. I was like, if I did that and lost, I would have been, mad as hell. So I'm like, you know what? Hats off to you, you know? But I can't do that. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they had teams and they took breaks.
Sure.
They had people bringing them food. As a guy was there pretty much myself this year, I'm this is not happening. Yeah. So since I already had a line person in line, I'm like, well, you know what? I'll see what I can get because it's also the WB signing in the same line. So I had my mark. I'm like, well, the Flash and Grant Gustin doesn't really show up at our cons. Yeah, but that was, of course, the first one to go. And then I'm like, okay, if it's that, I'll do Supergirl, because I figure Arrow and Legends, those guys I could get otherwise, right? Yeah. Of course, Supergirl goes next. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's Legends now, right? But then by the time it was my turn, Supergirl actually went back on the table. I guess they found extra tickets. So I'm like, all right, let me do that. So I got the Supergirl. I went into the Supergirl line. And you guys all know I'm good friends with Lord, and his wife has a huge crush on James Olsen. Huge crush, right? So when I got to him, I was like, this is weird, but have you heard of Lord? And he goes, oh yeah, we got his art in the production office and so on.
Lord Messi is the one. He was on here about a year ago, actually.
Yeah.
He does a lot of kind of chibi superhero art and very big on Twitter.
Didn't we give some of his prints?
Yeah.
So anyways, I know this is weird, but man, his wife has a huge crush on you. He goes, that's weird. He was kind of like, didn't know how to react. And then the next question I hit, I was like, wait, is he here? I'm like, yeah, he's right there in Artist Alley. He goes, I want to meet him. I'm like, well, that could be done. Yeah. And Melissa was right next to it, like, I want to meet him too, right? So I'm like,
really?
Okay. I'm basically when I got in line, I ran over to the booth. I'm like, Lord, shut the shit down. Come with me right now. Yeah. Sadly, by the time we made it back to the WB booth, they were already shutting down. And I was like, my God, that's his real name. He's here, right here, right? And he was trying to get security to let Lord in, and they're like, no. And he goes, just one person. They were like, no. So he actually ran out and took some pictures of Lord, and and then he took off. So yeah, it was kind of funny. So the picture you see on the social interwebs with Lord and McCall together, I kind of sort of made that happen. I'm a little proud of that moment.
It's baffling to me that security, when the actor's like, hey, let this person in, the security says no.
No, yeah, it's unbelievable. The actor had to come out. You figure if the actor comes out, that's worse than one guy going in,
what's the
right?
thought process there?
Yeah, I don't know. But, I was kind of proud of that moment, since that happened. I also talked to the guy who plays Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
I asked him if he knew.
Martian?
Yeah, he goes no, but I was like, but I knew the minute I watched the pilot. I was like, you're a fucking Martian Manhunter.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, so I did that, and my other big thing was I'm a big Prison Break fan. You guys know that because I love Captain Cold Heat Wave, mainly because
that's what I was gonna say. You got him to sign the Legends poster or Flash poster.
Yeah,
right?
Fuck that. No, Prison Break all the way, man. They were there for that miniseries that's coming out, so I really wanted that. And for some reason, that line was rather short on Sunday. Maybe people worn out by then. I sure as hell was. I scored that, and I was pretty happy with that. So. Right after I scored that ticket, I went back to the hotel, had to rest, elevate my leg, and then I went for that signing. Sadly, Dominic Purcell, he had to go catch a plane, so I didn't get both brothers. So I'm like, damn you, I have to get you one day. But I got to briefly talk to Wentworth Miller about Captain Cold, and I told him, man, I really love you on the show. T-Bag was sitting right next to him, one of the nicest dudes ever. Of course, bad guys is usually really cool in person. Super cool experience. Even though you only get a few minutes with them.
Yeah.
I also found out my buddy was actually working at the show. He was working behind the scenes. He was filming a lot of the interviews. He was working the Sausage Party.
Yeah,
Sausage Fest.
Sausage Party.
He was working that premiere for that. So I was like, that's cool.
The Red Band trailer.
Yeah, I played before the Disney movie. Yeah. But
That was a big thing.
Yeah. Overall, cool con. For me, definitely was different because I just couldn't, last.
Yeah.
I went out with Mark one night, one of the friends of the podcast.
Yeah.
One of your personal buddies.
Yeah.
He was dressed up as Ric Flair.
Yeah.
His buddy was Rowdy Piper.
He always goes as Ric Flair.
Dude, they were having a blast.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I walked in, and the first thing I see is him being, woo! Like, walking around the dance floor, doing the whole, Ric Flair spiel. I'm like, I'll let you be, I guess. I'll just stand over here. And people were really into it, so that was really cool.
Yeah, he always takes pictures of, other, real wrestlers.
Yeah. And he was giving me shit that you hate wrestling. He was like, I don't understand why Ryan doesn't like wrestling. It's the same shit as comic books. Yeah. I took some video of, because it was like a Mad Catz party, I took some video of people playing Street Fighter. I still have to post it, but I'm going to call it Bar Fight, SCCC style.
Nice.
But no, it was fun. And they gave sunglasses, which I really dig because I love swag sunglasses.
Cool.
Since I run a lot of obstacle courses, I tend to lose them.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not too worried about it. But I get attached to them. I really miss my BuzzFeed glasses, and I lost them getting hit by a giant wrecking ball into the water at the Wipeout race. So, yeah.
Well, there was a couple big things at Comic-Con that we definitely have to cover here. The Marvel panel was, for the most part... and Lane, and feel free to add if anything pops up as you guys are thinking about it. Feel free to jump in.
I randomly walked into Thomas Jane. I didn't realize that. Lord was telling me after I went into the elevator, behind you was Thomas Jane the entire time. I'm like,
nice.
Really? And then Ian Searing was around, at the Magician's Party, which is a sci-fi show, was at his hotel.
Nice.
So, yeah, Ian Searing was there because it's sci-fi. So Ian Searing's there for his Sharknado stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Thomas Jane was right behind me. I didn't realize the entire time.
Wow. It's likely, right?
Yeah,
at a place like that. But Marvel had their big panel where they showed off, I believe, some footage from Thor and Spider-Man, but that did not get publicly shown. I know they had the trailer for the Legion TV show coming up, very loosely based on the X-Men Legion character. Toby, I've actually not watched that trailer yet.
Yeah.
It's in my small stack of trailers to watch, but Toby, I know you said you saw it. You're not liking it.
And I'm not taking it. I was even taking a little jab at Bryce.
Does it have anything to do with the X-Men or Legion, the character?
It felt like a worse show than that Mutant X show.
Yeah.
Gen X?
No, Mutant X. It felt like Mutant X was already kind of a X-Men kind of ish, but not really show. This feels a little bit more than that.
Right.
As in less X-Men, but more in the same category as that. I don't know. Maybe Bryce likes it. I don't know. We'll see next week or whenever he comes back. Right? It's going to be the greatest show ever.
So I thought that show was axed, right? But I guess it's just the hell
I guess it's not. I was surprised that trailer was out. I kind of stumbled it by accident.
What are they called? The Hellfire Club. The Hellfire Club show was axed, and they're just going to do like a more generic X-Men show on Fox, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, but this Legion thing.
I mean, he's Xavier's son, right?
Right, but does it? Are they going to say that? Does it have anything to do with it?
I have no idea. I've watched a ton of TV. If this is a fantastic show, all good.
Yeah,
man.
I'll watch a couple episodes.
It's all good.
Sure.
I first glance at it, I kind of have no interest.
Like, look, Lane brought me those 2 promo posters for Lucifer, right? Like, I'm not going to say it's my favorite show. It has really nothing to do with the comic
You really
book.
shouldn't be your favorite
But
show.
it's a fun show, right? I like it, right? So if this Legion show is fine, if it's fun, cool. I don't care. Like,
Look, if it's good, it's good. Right?
yeah, sure, right.
You know, I've watched a lot of the trailers that came out of Comic-Con. I can't bring myself to hit play on that one. I can't.
I just haven't done it
I
yet.
have to agree with Charlie on that one. We watched, Ryan, you and I sat here and watched every trailer that hit on Saturday.
12 times.
You know, and I watched them over and over and over again. And I saw that Legion trailer later that night. And I couldn't, just like Charlie, I couldn't hit play. I'm like,
She's just done it.
oh, it's going to be disappointing.
I don't even know how
I'm
I found
disappointed
it.
before I even hit the play button.
I don't even know how I found it, but I was like, wait, Legion? Oh, it's that fucking Legion. They actually did it? I was like, they actually did it?
Yeah.
So I had to press play just to see if it's real.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. But didn't they air Guardians 2 footage?
They might have, right? Yeah,
'Cause
but
I read something that Gunn
No,
was like.
I thought they specifically didn't, and he explained why.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, we don't know because Marvel hasn't released Jack online.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
so-
I think they aired some Guardians footage in
Netflix
the
Marvel
panel, but
fucking
they
kicked
didn't-
major ass this time.
did any of that get released?
Netflix Marvel?
Yeah, the Iron Fist.
Everything.
The Iron. Well, that was before Comic-Con, though, wasn't it?
No, that was all
Was
Comic-Con.
that at Comic-Con?
Yeah, that was all after the Luke Cage panel. You got the Defenders
that's right,
teaser,
that's right.
the Luke Cage panel.
Oh, but that was early, though.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it
was
was
like
earlier in the
Thursday,
day.
Friday.
Yeah, okay, that's why. Yeah, I was thinking the Saturday stuff. Yeah. Luke Cage looks cool. Iron Fist looks
Fucking
cool.
fantastic.
Well, you don't get a lot though out of
Doesn't
Luke Cage
matter.
and Iron
Looks
Fist.
fucking fantastic. What do you mean looks good?
No. You
Fucking
don't,
unimpressive motherfucker.
I'm not saying unimpressed. I'm saying Luke Cage looks exactly like Jessica Jones and Daredevil, which is fine.
Yeah, but it's got that hip hop vibe, man.
Yeah, sure.
Finally,
And
all the titles that the show is going to base on Gangstar tracks. It's fucking awesome.
Iron Fist-
I know you don't know what that means. It's
don't.
a hip hop artist, a major one.
But the Iron Fist stuff is like 10 seconds. Like you don't see anything. Like so.
No, it's not 10 seconds. It's like a minute and a half.
But you've actually
You get to see him like land in the fucking Himalayas. You see the fucking monks. You see him being like strapped in that asylum, and then he fucking breaks out of it.
I might have seen like a teaser
and
because
then he fucking walks around barefoot. Like
all the thing I saw was him like pop his head up and like that was it. It was like super
you
short.
fucking probably pressed play, talked to a few people, and then went back and saw his head.
I must have seen like a teaser for the trailer or something because I thought what I saw was
all
super
I saw
short.
for Defenders was that
Defenders was nothing.
That
Yeah.
just cut out.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
But was that the voice of Mephisto?
No, it was fucking David Tennant.
Was it David Tennant?
Yeah, it was mixed in. It was what's his face, the blind guy, Stick,
Yes, Stick.
and then it was just Stick. It was just Stick.
Yeah, it was
I'm
Stick.
not-
I thought
just
the very
Stick.
last sentence. I thought the very last sentence was an actor, but it sounded something like Mephisto would say.
I don't know.
It was
He's
Stick.
supposed
I'm
to be
sorry.
the big bad in Defenders.
It was Stick for sure.
As-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for these. I mean, Luke Cage and Daredevil. Jessica Jones and Daredevil were fantastic, and I'm super excited for these. But I thought
Cage, I'm so excited for Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
The Power Man trailer just didn't. You didn't show you. I mean, it just he beat some guy up for a minute. Like there wasn't a.
What more do you want? I don't
There
want
was
more.
no plot. There was no.
I don't want more. That's all I want. I just want to be happy. I don't want to know anything about the story I'm already in.
Sure, of course.
In general, historically, Netflix tends to put out a teaser that doesn't really tell you much.
Yeah.
And then like a week before the series airs,
The
they
real
put out the
trailer.
real
They put out the
trailer.
real
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
Because they're smart enough to go, we're just going to get people super excited when we're ready to release it to them.
Yeah, 'cause
I
they're
am
releasing everything.
super stoked about that stuff, dude.
Well, movie-wise, they had Doctor Strange, which actually did get released to the theater, or did get released
Now,
to the public.
I didn't get to see your reaction to the Doctor Strange trailer, but I assumed
It's a vomit
there
emoji.
Was, I assumed you were about to throw up.
yeah, multiple vomit emojis is my reaction. to the Doctor Strange trailer.
no VR version of this.
I will
either,
not
huh?
see this movie in IMAX 3D. Like watching it on a small screen, I was like, my stomach is churning during this thing. I got this way a little bit during Star Trek Beyond, even too.
With Yorktown.
With the kind of 4-dimensional.
I don't want to know anything. Don't say anything yet.
There is some. Don't see it in 3D and sit in the front. Okay, you'll puke all over the place.
I'm not you, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but this watching these cities, I'm like, man, I had a hard enough time with Inception for the minute that they did it. This looks like half the film is just it turning inside out. I am legitimately concerned that I will not be able to sit in the theater and watch this movie. I'm really concerned.
Yeah.
Because I am going to have a really hard time with this.
Don't worry, Ryan. I'm bringing you a barf bag off the plane from Taiwan.
I'll sit on the top on the first seat.
I'll do you one better. I'll give you one of my barf bags that I got after the surgery, which are plastic and it's nicely shaped, and you can wrap it when you barf into it. You can turn it so you don't have to smell it right away.
I'm just picturing him spending the entire movie with his eyes closed, just listening to it.
I probably will. Yeah, I mean, I am. Yeah, but the trailer.
I'm just waiting for watching the movie, going, yes, this is, and all of a sudden hearing,
it looks awesome. It just looks like I'm going to vomit when I'm watching it.
For once, I'm glad that Ryan sits in the very back of the theater, and I generally sit in the front, I'm very far away.
Projectile vomit so far it hits you.
Sure.
Okay?
We'll see if we can do that.
Bottom going, what's this on my neck?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's when I re-vomit back up the theater.
It's so disgusting.
I don't know.
We'll never watch movies again.
I don't know the villain. Have they named who he's actually supposed to be in the movie? I am completely clueless as to what they're doing with Doctor Strange.
Again, who cares?
I feel like they haven't talked
about it. It's a Marvel movie. We're already in.
Yeah,
Might as well get surprised.
Mordor is in it, but we don't know who the big bad is. I think it's Nightmare, but I'm not 100%. It could be Nightmare. It could be Dormammu. We don't know.
Yeah, I think they've been kind of quiet about it.
We've only seen his eyes, so that's it.
Okay.
How about Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
That's such a
super weird.
It's not. It's like 4th tier Ghost Rider. Like nobody gives.
It's not Johnny Blaze.
No.
It's that last.
It's the one from Ghost Racers. It's the kid in the car.
Yeah,
it's not real Ghost Rider.
No, it's another piece of shit thing for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for them that nobody cares about. It's like sure we'll have Deathlock.
They sure pulled a fast one on this one.
Well, but
I was actually kind of excited when it had the chains and the skull.
I have no clue how Ghost Rider would fit into that show.
It's
though.
weird, right? I was like, out of all shows, like, why are you over there?
I guarantee you, it's not going to be Ghost Rider at all. It's going to be like
the kid running around without a flaming skull.
for 98% of the movie or 98%.
And the season finale will have a flaming skull.
Yeah, for half a minute.
Bring fucking Ghost Rider to Netflix, please.
Yeah, no, there's no reason for this to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There should absolutely be a Netflix show, and it'd be fucking incredible. I'm sure. And it should be Johnny Blaze or at least Danny Katz.
It's like this. The Supernatural is like the Moon Knight, the Ghost Rider, and Blade. That should be like the next phase.
Well, you have OG Ghost Rider, you have the guy on the horse, you have Johnny Blaze, you have Danny Ketch, you have Vengeance. Yeah. Then you have wasn't there a girl Ghost Rider towards the tail end of that series? And then wasn't there another person? And then this guy. So you're 7 Ghost. Is it 6? You see the 6 in? You're 6 Ghost Riders in. Like, come on. Why? Like pick the original ones. Like, why do you have to go so far down? Maybe they don't want.
That's the only guy they were allowed to take.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Because they're going to save the real Ghost Rider for Netflix.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what they should
Supernatural Phase 3 or something, man. Moon Knight, Blade, and Ghost Rider would be fucking badass.
Yeah, there was a rumor of Blade coming to Netflix or another movie or something, but nothing came of it.
Yeah, those 3 would work well together.
That's always a rumor, though.
Yeah, well, it's because everybody wants
it. Netflix presents Midnight Suns.
Now, besides that, and the lack of Guardians trailer, DC really took over the show with their little stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to. I see 12 people on Facebook being like, "There's Ryan not talking about Marvel again, hating on Marvel," but for the consumers, DC ruled this show. Mm-hmm. Marvel released nothing to the public.
Well, it's because Marvel's got their own show.
Right, exactly. They have D23 next year, which is prior to Comic-Con. So, yeah, everything will be there. And everything was there at the previous one. And they just had Star Wars.
I mean, they did announce Brie Larson being no relation to Bryce Larson.
Captain Marvel. That's right. That's right. No, I'm sorry. Actually,
that was a nice reveal. They were like, "Oh, we should announce our newest edition," and that's kind of how they announced it. That was kind of lovely.
Yeah. So
Bryce's sister is Captain Marvel.
That'd be badass.
So, but we're talking a movie so far out, right, at this point. But it's cool that they announced it. Like, I remember when Black Panther got announced. That was at some weird trade show, or it was their weird like New York they had it like a private event, like it wasn't like a big thing.
I think they already knew then that Black Panther is going to be in Civil War.
Yeah.
The problem with Captain Marvel is, at work, I've had people come up to me and go, "How can Marvel Comics take a DC character and turn him female and have a Captain Marvel?" I had to go through the whole Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, Warbird, binary, all the way up to her being Captain Marvel. Now he goes, "Oh, that makes sense now. Now that makes a little more sense now."
So there's one thing they didn't talk about at all at Marvel: Inhumans. More belief that movie is just done and scrapped, and then I'm curious because with this new Marvel Now launch of Marvel books, not that many Inhumans books anymore. Like they're acting a bunch of them.
Well, maybe the X-Men and the Inhumans kill each other.
Let's hope. But I'll be curious to see what happens. Cool to see them actually put something down for Captain Marvel. See if that gets pushed back again, because it's already been pushed back once. But I wish they'd shown more stuff. I absolutely do. That Thor footage, that Spider-Man footage, release it, Marvel. Release the footage.
Yep.
Because there's no reason not to.
DC released it right after right after.
Let's move on to DC here. Obviously, the company I like way better because it's DC.
Well, it is better.
I'm just being our Facebook group.
Using the voice that Bryce gave you last podcast.
No, you gotta do that. You gotta do that in an Irish accent.
Scottish.
Scottish accent. Yeah.
Scottish.
Yeah. Hey Ryan, what you do here? At DC again?
So.
We did not release any of the footage this time.
We need Bryce for this.
Anyway. So let's move on to DC here. So I wish Marvel had shown more. Anyway, DC. So last year, if you guys remember, they showed the Suicide Squad footage at Comic-Con, and someone leaked it, and DC, or not DC, it's like Warner Brothers, flipped out. They were super pissed and all this crap, blah, 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 blah. Well, this year, they really learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Because it aired, and then immediately they released everything online. Special features, documentary stuff, multiple trailers, sizzle reels for not only Justice League, a full trailer for Wonder Woman, another trailer for Suicide Squad, like 10 character one-shot, like Suicide Squad, like promos. Flash, catch up in sizzle reel, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, no Supergirl, though.
Yeah.
There was something else. Justice League Dark trailer, Justice League Dark behind-the-scene featurette, and I want to say there was one other thing. They had like 9 or 10 different trailers that came on a Comic-Con.
I remember we were watching on Saturday.
Lego Batman.
I remember we were watching on Saturday, and we were looking at the numbers, and all of a sudden it's 20,000. 80,000.
Yeah.
200,000.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Everybody at the show was watching it too.
Right.
We're like, did you see it yet? I'm like, we'll put it out on the phone. Holy shit.
I hit play on the Wonder Woman trailer at like 4,000 views. By the time it was done, I hit reload and it was up to like 175,000.
I watched a lot of those trailers when I was having dinner with Lord. I'm like, oh shit, did you see this is out? He goes, no, did you see this is out? My neighbor was fucking texting me, did you see this? I'm like, no, I actually haven't. And I'm here.
Jim was sitting next to me, and every 5 minutes I'm like, here we go, Jim, another trailer. Here we go. And then people would come in and be like, all right, let's start back at the beginning and do this all over again. So the TV show stuff,
especially if a regular came in, you're like, "Oh, you got to see this."
Well, let's start with the TV show stuff. Nothing too special. Everything looks good. They're going big on Flashpoint for Flash. Obviously, Eobard Thawne is back. That's cool.
It feels like the shows are even more divided now than ever. Like Flashpoint is doing, their Flashpoint thing. Oh, Flash. Flash is doing the Flashpoint thing. Arrow is finally doing their own thing.
They did confirm that Flashpoint's effects will carry over to Arrow.
Okay. And then, Supergirl is still in her own universe, right? So, and the Legends is all over time. Space.
But Flashpoint
not in a blue box.
Flashpoint could bring them all together. That could be the thing. We'll see.
And they did talk a little bit about how they're going to do the four series crossover and stuff. So. Yeah.
Justice League Dark trailer looked pretty good.
Matt Ryan is Constantine.
Matt Ryan is Constantine.
Cartoon voice, he's fine.
Sure. Unfortunately, the rumored Constantine revival show was not announced, but they were doing Justice League Dark, so it's probably a little game of telephone there. They got a little mixed up. But good to see him back as Constantine, and love to see him back in the live action, but we'll see about that. I'm not have too much to say about the TV show stuff. It's very small teasers.
I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but
I did watch the new Suicide Squad trailer. I didn't watch the character one-shots. Trailer was, it's Suicide Squad. It's in a week. I'm fucking stoked. I can't believe it's almost here.
This is the thing is all of what
I believe reviews hit Monday too.
What I've noticed about all the Suicide Squad trailers is that you don't really get a story out of any of them.
No story.
You get the concept of what the Suicide Squad is.
You get the tone.
Yeah, and like so to me, I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah,
even though I've basically seen the same footage over and over again, with a little bit extra here and there.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say about Suicide Squad. We'll be talking about it in 2 episodes.
You've seen all the footage that they've released, but you still don't know.
Yeah, but I think at this point, I've seen too much.
Anything.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't paste it together. You have no idea where it's going.
After I wish I didn't see the Hall H Comic Con one. I feel like I've seen just a tad bit too much.
I'm done. I haven't been watching any of the TV spots or any of the online spots. I figured I'd watch the Comic Con footage to see if there was something special in it.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's more of the same. It's cool. It's awesome. But
it looks
I'm
fantastic.
done.
Katana looks awesome.
Yeah, I don't need to see anything else.
Your Soul Sword. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's fantastic.
Well, let's talk about the two big ones. So we got a first official Wonder Woman trailer, full-on Wonder Woman trailer, and a new
Is
poster.
Raffi still alive? I'm just asking.
I texted him like multiple times.
Oh my God.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he's alive. They were
You
watching
sure?
Star Trek when it happened.
Did he walk out of the theater to watch this trailer?
When they came out
in the middle of Star Trek?
I got to share this. When they came out of the theater, he was with his friends. Apparently, he was sitting in the back with his phone right in front of him. Wouldn't share the video with anybody. He was just sitting there, just taking it all in, man.
Yeah.
The guys came over here to the store. They're like, "Can we see the trailer now?"
Yeah.
Raffi won't share.
Well, for the listeners, Raffi is our residential #1 Wonder Woman fan, and he will not give up that mantle to anybody.
It's well deserved.
He shouldn't give that up to anybody.
That is very true. Nobody can challenge him for it, even. Nobody.
Yeah.
Back to the trailer. I mean, the trailer's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, for anyone that had any problem with Justice League and Batman v with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman,
They did not have that with Wonder Woman.
No, you got to watch this trailer. It's fantastic. It's funny. It's bright. It's colorful. Its action's amazing.
Well, I was in the shop on Tuesday and we were talking about it with one of the customers here, and honestly, I mean, watching the trailer, seeing all the action, seeing just what they're giving us. That music, though,
I love it. It's
like that.
Well, that shit was in fucking Batman Superman, man. That was one of the highlights there.
But that's the thing is
that was in there for the minute you saw her.
Oh, I know.
The minute you saw her, that was there.
But that music just you're there. Like
it's so good.
Well, that's
you
what music is supposed to do, man. It's like the 80s and 90s where theme song actually mattered, man.
It's the hook.
Somewhere along the way, we lost that shit. It used to matter.
Yeah.
I'm glad it does again.
I think there's there is. You're not going to go away from the drabness of World War I. You can't physically make that brighter or more sunnier. So if people complained about it in Batman v Superman, I could see similar complaints about the color scheme in Wonder Woman, but it is supposed to be much like the first Captain America movie was a fairly drab movie comparatively to the second one.
But they did have a battle on the beach, and that was bright.
No, absolutely. No, there was much more colorfulness in this movie.
On the mascara.
Yeah, if you have a problem with that in Batman v Superman, you won't have it as much in Wonder Woman.
I really dig her sliding fighting, man.
The action's awesome.
Her sliding fighting is fucking badass.
She slid on
the shield.
She had
the shield and back
on the
and
knee
then
pads. I mean, it's just awesome. It's really good.
The glowing lasso.
Works really well.
The glowing lasso was amazing.
That was great too. Yeah.
What I really enjoyed, like a little tidbit, was her friend. I can't remember her name. The one, the girl the one she befriends.
Oh, Etta Candy.
Etta Candy.
Yeah.
Her intro at the end of the trailer
really
was just perfect.
Yeah.
And
I like too that we're not actually. I mean, you believe the story is Wonder Woman and then the Themyscirans versus the army, basically, right? But I don't think that's really what the story is going to be. I think there's more to it than that. So obviously, it's an introduction to Steve Trevor and Man's World, but I think there's going to be other elements in the movie.
There's slight humor already. Yeah. Are you a man? Don't I look like one?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good stuff in that Wonder Woman trailer.
I absolutely love it.
Even the most biggest Batman v Superman haters, and I'm looking at the left half of the part of the left half of the thing here.
He's looking at me.
Yes, loved it. People I know online that hated Batman v Superman, thought the Wonder Woman trailer was fantastic. I've not heard a bad thing about it from anyone. So
I really do think we're actually on the way up at this point.
I hope so,
because that Justice League I'm carrying over at this
Isn't
point.
that because Johns is more?
Well, I don't know if you guys heard the official news today. Jeff Johns now
promoted.
president of DC Entertainment.
Oh, wow!
So
Congratulations, Jeff.
I have driven the president of DC Entertainment around for a day. I don't know what he was thinking. He is clearly suicidal. I apologize from the past.
And this is when Ryan first started driving,
Do you think
too.
you can get the president of DC Entertainment down here for a signing?
I don't think things happen that fast. I think some of these things have been in place already.
Yeah.
Way before.
You should extend an invitation again, see if you can get him back here.
Less likely these days.
Yeah.
He's a little busy.
My favorite Ryan Higgins story is still Ryan Higgins and WonderCon going to is it WonderCon? Going to the panel and going, I have a question, and then Jeff Johns goes, hey, Ryan. Entire hall goes, huh? Who is this Ryan Higgins guy?
Who is this Ryan Higgins?
Yeah,
my favorite Ryan Higgins Jeff Johns story ever. Second favorite is you guys introducing the drinks that we had here at the store when we did the signing.
You I still gotta get that back up.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there, and I got goosebumps just now when you said that. That's awesome.
Dude,
That's
there's some changes coming to the YouTube channel. Me and Ryan are working on, so there'll be some things coming. So
yeah,
there's a little tease right now.
If you notice no videos on it, it's because we're getting stuff ready.
So let's go to Justice League.
Yeah, you guys gotta get that mic a little closer to you there. And we'll let Lane talk. I don't know.
I want Lane to talk.
Yeah, man. Stop hogging the mic.
So the big surprise was they said, hey, we're going to show you guys something special. We're going to show you some footage from Justice League. Now, I believe this was actually the footage they showed reporters a couple months ago, like back in, I believe, June, maybe end of May, beginning of June, when they had him over in London on the set. I believe, because it seems very similar from the things people have talked about, the discussion, especially the Flash, Batman stuff. But then Zack Snyder went on Twitter and was like, I flew all night, but here it is. Here's a Hall H footage. And he put it online, right? Like immediately as it was airing, like basically live at Comic-Con. Boom! I don't think anyone expected him to do that. And man, DC learned such a good lesson from last year, from their mess-ups last year by releasing this footage. And, you know, there's going to be people that are going to hate it because of Zack Snyder. But again, the people I know that hate it all thought it was much better.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird vertical slice. They have the one finished Batman Flash scene. Everything else is just kind of weird little snippets of.
Well, it's two scenes. You got the Flash scene and you got the Aquaman scene.
Very very low. I don't say low budget's not the word I'm looking for. Low effect.
Yeah.
Very very simple Aquaman scene that didn't require
it was a badass.
But it was awesome.
But it's so effective.
Oh, dude, that scene.
Nobody will make fun of Aquaman anymore.
I really wanted some Aquaman stuff in the previous movie, and now I don't care anymore after seeing this footage. I was like, fuck yes.
It's so good.
His scene where he throw down the alcohol bottle and just had the fucking water come out. Oh my god, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Well, we also got Cyborg.
Fuck Cyborg. Aquaman is the man.
Well, here's the thing with Cyborg. I'm going to touch on him real briefly because
He's a fucking badass.
Aquaman or Cyborg?
Yeah, no Aquaman, man.
I believe Cyborg, that is not his final look. I feel like that he didn't look finished. It looked very like...
I got such a man crush on Aquaman right now.
It looked like Mario 64, like weird blocky sprites. Like it didn't look like the Cyborg stuff was done. I have to assume that's not what he's going to look like because it looked weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked fine to me.
Yeah. He looked like very rocky. I don't know. It wasn't a look I liked, but we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. But that Flash scene and that Aquaman scene. We'll start with Aquaman. Again, Jason Momoa just absolutely kills it. He doesn't say
He's
a
going to
word.
steal that movie. Like Wonder Woman stole the Batman Superman movie.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is going to steal the fucking Justice League movie. Whoever would have thought of that about Aquaman?
I hope so.
I don't know that Flash scene.
That Flash scene was really good. So I like my Barry a little more in line with the age of the other characters, and a little blonder and a little more,
he worked
taller.
I was surprised. Like I never had anything against Ezra. It's the only thing I've watched of his was not very Flash-like, and I figured he was a good actor.
Yeah, no. The look is not what I would go with, but that's fine because it's a movie. You can look whoever you want. But the feeling was there. I loved they nailed the Flash. He just stops, he watches the Batarang go by his head, and he's looking at it, and he looks back at Batman, and he's like, or at Bruce Wayne, he's like, holy shit, you're Batman. And he kind of just like, he just kind of grabs it, and he's like, can I keep this? Like, it was just a funny line. It was very clever. It felt like the Flash.
I never told you what it is. I need some friends.
Yeah. Very funny. And then the Aquaman scene versus the Flash scene, they show you the extremes of their personalities, very different. The Batman Wonder Woman part where she's like, he said no. I don't need the movie to be like a comedy, right? No. But I like that they are actively pursuing some lighter moments.
Well, it's more natural, like humor in dialogue, right? Yeah. That's what we're hopefully going to get from that.
I hope.
Yes, Toby, we know Aquaman.
Fucking Aquaman, the movie.
You don't have to tell me, man. You fire here. I'm ready.
The fucking water.
Been telling people this for 30 years. Aquaman's fantastic.
I just had a really bad vision in my head of it wasn't water.
They'll all know soon. Rick and Morty fans can see a little Rick and Morty. Flash is watching Rick and Morty behind
I like his little Flash cave. Going on in there.
That's my second favorite chair. Nod to Big Bang Theory.
Is that a Big Bang Theory joke?
It's probably.
God, I now want to see this movie burn. If that's a Big Bang Theory joke.
All right, I'll see you.
That is not a Big Bang Theory reference. I'll tell you that for sure.
I don't. Maybe there's not a ton to say about Justice League. It was very kind of non-connected scenes, except for the Aquaman and Flash stuff. But man, it's real. It's happening. It's very soon. It's very soon. Year. Yeah, it's a little over a year away. Wonder Woman's about a year away. So
calling it now. Aquaman's going to steal the entire movie.
I hope so.
Entire movie.
I hope so.
I don't know. When the team was together, he
don't know that he will steal it all. He will steal it. Batman won't be the coolest guy on the team. Just imagine that.
Oh, what about Batman's upgrade suit?
Nope.
I can definitely see them going and being like, well, crap, we're getting the shit kicked out of us by Steppenwolf, and then here comes Aquaman, right? And just an army of fucking ocean stuff just crashing.
So what you're saying is the scene where everybody's going to be like, and this is where they're going to bring Superman back. Nope, it's just going to be Aquaman.
Yeah. But Superman's totally, so they had this great group shot of all of them together. No Superman in the trailer, but he's in that group shot, so he's coming back, and Superman is smiling in this picture. So there you go, fanboys. Superman smiling. Yes, he could smile.
Well, if you just came back from the dead, wouldn't you be smiling?
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy.
Well, he's probably coming back from the dead listening to Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, very successful DC Con. I wish Marvel would release more stuff. I'm sure it'll shitty cam versions.
Dude, it's all going to come from D23. D23 is going to be the Marvel version of all of this.
Yeah. And it's smart putting it right. Well, it's every other year.
Right? Oh, it's not every year?
No, D23 is every other year.
I have a feeling it's going to become a yearly thing.
And it's the weekend before Comic-Con in Anaheim next year.
That's going to be rough.
So they are specifically just Marvel is just giving the stick.
We're making a prediction for next year that Ryan's going to be gone for 2 weeks because he's just going to go down to Anaheim, go to D23,
I'd love to go to D23
at Disneyland, and then just go down to Comic-Con next year.
You will not be alive after those two
possible.
Cons. You're not going to be alive.
No. I don't know. I did want to go to D23 because I obviously couldn't go this year, but and I didn't go last year. But yeah, weekend before Comic-Con, that's tough. I don't know. We'll see. I might do one. I might do both. We're going to have a little shorter episode tonight because we're recording very late. Any last comments? Comic-Con stuff? Trailer stuff? Anyone got anything before we wrap up here?
I love the new Sherlock teaser also.
I didn't watch that yet. I didn't watch the Christmas special, though.
You're fired.
I don't like I'm not into Sherlock.
Either, Charlie. I'm sorry.
I think the highlights of the show was Justice League, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I'm going to just put him in his own category. And the American Gods thing. I'm really looking forward to our American Gods.
How many of you here have read American Gods?
I haven't.
Nope.
I just know it's Neil Gaiman. But I'm fucking Brian Fuller is the motherfucking man.
I'm the only one that's read this book. Nice.
Well, I don't really read books, so you beat me by a lot of books, I'm pretty sure. The only books I read are film theory and filmmaking and script writing books.
I will say this. I'm really excited for this show. I think I've read American Gods twice. And for a while, I was giving it away as like birthday presents, Christmas presents to people. So It's definitely one to check out. And I know that there's another an anniversary edition that has some more stuff in it, so I need to try and track that down.
Like an extra chapter or something. That's cool.
So since I missed out on the Wonder Woman signing and Suicide Squad signing, I tried to make sure I'm nearby when the signing was, and I got some really close-up footage of them walking by.
Yeah, cool.
Sadly, when Gal Gadot walked by, someone pushed me out to the side, so I couldn't really get that shot because on one leg it's a little hard to keep balance.
Toby, you didn't practice your fan girl
in front of her.
Fangirl pushing.
See, that's what I was thinking.
But it was literally she was literally walking right by me. I was at the perfect place for it by accident, not planned. By accident, I was actually at the perfect place.
Yeah.
But no, it's Will Smith was very active.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff. So
you saw the video of Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Pranking Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Showing up at the signing.
Going around as the citizen. From
and asking for it. Well, he was not the only one. He's
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, and he was not the only one. Amel went to the Flash signing, getting his Flash poster signed by Grant Gustin. I thought that was kind of funny.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Yep. All right, here. If you do want to go see Suicide Squad, we're going to be doing that screening next Thursday. You can pick up tickets online at comicsconspiracy.biz or at the store, but you do have to pick up the ticket here at the store, so easier to just come down to the store if you want to see it. Like I said, we got about 20 tickets left, so we will sell out pretty quick. Very excited for that. Also, next Wednesday, August 3rd, is the release of Harley Quinn #1. That includes our special limited edition store-exclusive variant cover, which you can pick up from us on eBay, Amazon, or comicsconspiracy.biz. Local people, you should pick it up at the store instead if you can, because we're going to have a special price for in-store purchase, because we don't have to deal with shipping and eBay fees and all that crap. So that is, I'm so excited about that. We'll have the book when we record the podcast next week, so very excited to talk more about that.
And Suicide Squad Rebirth is out.
And Rebirth is, the one-shots.
The one-shot.
Yeah, is out the same day.
it should be. Isn't that the one that's been done by my buddy Philip?
He's doing backups, right? It's like they're doing alternate.
I think that's the one he did.
Oh, did he do the whole issue?
There's one issue that he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know which one it is. I think it's that one.
Okay. Yeah, he may have done the Rebirth.
But I could be wrong, but I know he did a full issue on one of them.
So good stuff going on next week. Obviously, the week after, we'll have our big Suicide Squad episode. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully it's good. Come see it with us if you want. It'd be a fun time. We can thank our good friends at Patreon. Go to Albert Soy. Albert, I have your Ash and Pikachu figure here. He's got an app on iTunes called Plant Everywhere. Make sure you check that out. Ryan he's got the Preach Podcast at soundcloud.com/Preach Podcast. Jody Lawson has the Canon, the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudio.com. John Nesmith has drinkingwithbatman.libsyn.com. So you drink with Batman, then watch that Justice League trailer a few more times. Peter X. Blanco has Nerded Up on YouTube. That's youtube.com/NerdedUpTV. He helps produce that show, so check that out. Julian Titus has the Nerdzilla Pants podcast at pixelbit.com. And
Toby.
No pants.
Yes, there you go. And Julian, yes.
Sidetracked by Pokemon.
You are actually coming back on pretty soon to talk, because we're going to have another Rebirth episode very soon, and I do want you on to talk about some of the books you read. Joshua Redding has Tangent Break. That's a podcast on iTunes. Make sure you check that out. Twilight of Ages and Dawn of Darkness on Amazon. Those are a couple novels he wrote.
Thank Josh for his little birthday shout-out on the Facebook group. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Much appreciated.
Manoa Place, Sam Shea, Talon Bray, and Peter Parker. Those are all great friends of ours who back us on Patreon. We like to thank them every week. If you guys want to back us, patreon.com/comicconspiracy. That's where you can go. We have all sorts of cool swag up there for you to get if you back us at the higher levels. A few people have asked about this Harley Quinn cover through Patreon. I'm going to look into it early next week when I get back. I did look into it. The problem is I can't post pictures on the there's some weird things about how the backing works. I need to find a good way to do it, as well as get the art up there. So I will probably have that. If you want to back us at that, you'll get that at the end of the month. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com or comicsconspiracy.biz. That's our website. Geekbox.net and iTunes, where you can find this podcast and all our previous episodes. Please rate and review. Yeah. The Comic Conspiracy at Geekbox.net. I don't think my eyes are just crossed at this point. Or the contact form. That's where you can go send us some email. So I'd ask for questions tonight, but I got to cut this short. We're just a very long few days, and we're recording at the very end of a very long Wednesday. So I'm tired. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz, where you can go buy your digital comics from us. Yeah, we'll buy those. And they just had some ridiculous sales for Comic-Con. So always check around the big conventions. Conspiratobrock.com, that's Brock's blog. Video pull list, Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art, that's my wonderful wife's art store. You can go and buy some stuff from her there. Ryan Higgins, Ryan, Brock Sager, Larson Bryce, Toby XI, Insanity and Chaos, Comics Con Store, LD Exterminator, and Lane, you don't do Twitter. But if you were on Twitter, it would be Lane_Pop_is_ the best. That's probably too many characters, but that's fun.
Lane Pop Love.
Lane Pop Love, yeah. Pop Lane Pop.
What's
Lane Love Pop. Geekbox Comedy Button, Good Job Brain, I'll Talk Podcast, Machinations. Those are our wonderful podcasts you can listen to. Oh, if you listen to Good Job Brain, you should order the Good Job Brain book by Karen Chu, now up on Amazon. Yep, you can go pre-order that. It's pretty cheap too. It's like $12 on Amazon. Really cheap. So go listen to those podcasts. Thanks, guys. Sorry, this podcast again a little late. We'll back to normal time next week.
Hey, they can always watch my video first.
They can. See you later.